is super. Hold on, let me turn on my flashlight. Good morning. It's currently 5 5 a.m. and I've just entered sells on US 30 this morning. So we'll break down real quick. Overall, the 1 hour is bearish, right? We've had a break of structure, market's correcting up in this time frame. Right now, the 1 hour is still bearish. We haven't really closed above this high, not strong at least. On the 15-minute, market structure is slowing down and is now starting to break structure towards the downside. So I hopped on the 5-minute to see what it looks like. And my entry is right around here. Somewhere around here, right? And now the 5 minutes breaking structure right here. So now I just need that close below, and then price will continue to push down. So it'll just be about waiting to see how this plays out. And I'll keep you guys updated. The profit on this should be around $600 if it goes all the way to full TP. But yeah, that's all I got right now. So just wait and be patient and see how this plays out. All right, here's a little update on US 30. It's going absolutely great. I'm now break even. Right now I'm floating, let's see, $120 just in profit so far, and we're going smooth towards our take profit. I sent this out to the members in my Discord here. You guys can take a look here to see that. So I sent that out at 4:49 a.m. right there. If it focuses and you can see it, what I was looking at, why I was taking it, and things like that. Some of the members took it, right? And just let them know that I'm also break even, and I will continue to watch this play out and see how it goes. Now we're break even, so whether it's a win or a break even, it was a good trade. So very happy with it. We'll see how it plays out. Oh, let me turn my camera back on so you guys can see me. All right, full TP hit. I just made $600. There's US 30 going all the way down. Let me pull up what it looked like over here so you guys can see the new balance is in fact $1,695. I am gonna withdraw about $300 right now, personal reasons, but yeah. So the account balance is gonna be at $1,395. But that's gonna be it for me for the week. So I'll do a little trade recap on why I took this trade for sure, and then I'll put this video out for you guys. So I'll see you guys in the recap. All right, here's full transparency. You guys still can't see me. It's still dark in my room. Let me turn this on. Full transparency. I ended up removing $207 instead of $300. So the account balance is at $1,488. So good start. Good start to the year. Okay, now let's jump into the breakdown of that trade. See you there. All right, here we go. Here's the little trade breakdown for US 30. Perfect setup. I'd take it 10 times in a row, whether it would have been good or if it would have been bad. Beautiful. Either way, so most of you don't know, I trade price action, right? So right now I'm really looking at, when I was coming into this setup, at least I was looking at kind of the bigger picture, what's kind of going on here. Overall big picture, we've got a double top here on US 30. You can see that price does not want to go higher off the daily time frame. So knowing that, I'm kind of looking for to see what kind of reactions are going to be happening. So I dropped down to the 4-hour time frame, and the first thing that catches my eye is you can see that these supports over here are getting broken, right? So price was pushing up and making higher highs, and then we had this break here, right? Price pushed, made a higher low, attempted to make a higher high and failed, and then pushed down, right? So now we have a break of structure here. Then price made a higher low, sorry, a lower high, and then push down again, breaking this support here, right? So it's pretty confirmed that we're on a downtrend here, right? And the other thing that I like to see is that overall that the market structure is looking clean, that you can see that price is actually trending, right? It's not wicky, it's not choppy. Price is making a higher, lower low, or lower low here, then makes a lower high, and then makes a new lower low, then makes a lower high, and then new lower low. And that's all I did, expecting this exact same thing to happen here, right? So we made here's the break from the lower low, price made a lower high, and then I was expecting it to fill and make that new lower low, right? So going into, just go on a replay here. Going into the trading session last night, right? If I drop down to the 1 hour time frame, I was tracking my highs and my lows. The first thing in a trend is you don't really want to see market breaking structure here, right? So I didn't really want to see price closing above this high up here, right? So that was the first thing I marked out as don't want price to be closing above the highs. Make sure that I'm still recording. Yeah, okay, cool. So that was the first thing I wanted to see, right? And the other thing, like once market's correcting here, I'm just tracking my highs and lows on the 15-minute time frame or so. 15-minute, 30-minute, whatever one looks the most clean, right? So on the 30-minute, I was kind of just marking it out, right? And as we started getting up higher, I can see that we have a support here, right? And then we have a support here, right? And then I'm just like letting price track. And then we got a new support here, right? Ooh. Right, you just keep tracking it. And after here, I started switching to the 15-minute time frame and marking things out. And then this is when, around this time frame, is when I started looking at the markets. This is 3 a.m., about 3:45 a.m. You can see price is getting close to this 1 hour high here. And ends up closing above it a little bit, but not fully, right? It's not a, how should I say? It's not a definite like break, right? If we just draw a box. Right, so you can see that sellers, remove this here. Sellers are pushing price down here from this whole box, and we're still within this box, so I was good. And looking at the 15-minute time frame, I started seeing the market slow down, so I was like, all right, let's drop down to the 5-minute, drop down some more, right? So don't be afraid to drop down on time frames and look to see what time frame looks the cleanest, right? You don't have to stay on one time frame. I feel like that's a major problem that most people new to the markets are trying to do, is stay on one time frame, right? And realistically, like I'm using all of these time frames to make up a narrative, to get up like a thesis on where I think the market's going to go, right? And from here, now I'm starting to like lay out some things here, right? Where's everything that I hit, right? So now I'm starting to lay out here. That's break even. Should be these down here. So I started laying out my short position that I'm going to start playing with. I'll put an arrow here. Market's starting to slow down, right? So I'm just, one thing that I love to do is to write out what it is I'm seeing, because then that helps me to continue to remember what are the things that I'm noticing, what are the things that I'm seeing, helping me form this narrative, right? So then I started marking out these 5-minute lows, these supports, because if I want to take sells, what do I need to see start breaking? I need to start seeing the market breaking these lows, right? And that's just showing me that market's getting stronger, or I need to start seeing some lower highs in the market. And we'll see what starts to happen here. Then I start labeling things out. Break a structure on the 5-minute here. Then this would be my break even, because this is the 15-minute break a structure, right? And I just had that there because I felt like that was a safe area to do that, right? I can go break even here. If market starts to reverse on me, most likely it's breaking structure and things would start to go in opposite direction. So for now, let's just let price play out and see what starts to happen. You start to see market start to pull its way down. And around here, I was starting to look for an entry. Market, what happened? So we had a high, a higher low, a higher high. Then we had a higher low put in, right? And then instead of making the next higher high, because if we're in a trend, right, if we're in an uptrend, market's going to continue to push to make that upper high, that higher high. And instead, we made a lower high. To now we're trying to force to make this lower low. And I ended up entering off of this wick here, right here on this little piece right here. If I actually just delete this wick right here, I ended up entering as price was breaking through this level here. And from then on, I just let the price play out, right? So market eventually ended up breaking through this level here and coming down to this 15-minute break structure. What I wanted to see was us start to close and break below that. So I was break even by this time here. And then from here on, I just let the trade play out, let it ride, and my take profit, right? So if you think about this in terms of buyers and sellers, right? All it is price action in a nutshell. All you're looking at is to see, okay, we got a break structure here. So I know that below this level, buyers are no longer here, right? And sellers are in control from this level here, where we broke structure here, all the way down to here. So if I'm selling the market, right, I'm just going to sell to where buyers are, right? So, and I know that buyers are right here because buyers bought price up from here all the way up to here, right? So this was my take profit area, these wicks down here. And from here on out, I just kind of let price run. Pretty straightforward trade here. Market eventually ended up making a lower high and then dumping off, right, when market opened. So beautiful setup. I would take it 10 times out of 10 times, right? If you're struggling with trying to understand when to get into the market, make sure you're marking out your supports, right? So the number one thing is like when you're seeing price building its way up, right? I'm marking out these support areas where price is having strong reactions from. So I'm seeing that from here, right? I wouldn't count these little red candles here, right? Because all this is fluctuations in price. This is a support area, right? Because you can see that there's both buyers and sellers here. Then buyers won the battle and pushed price up. Then again, all the way up here, sure, there's some structure in here, but all this is really fluctuations in the market. And then we had a high put in, then mark sold off. So you see that sellers started winning the battle here, sold off. Then buyers push price from here. So this is technically a support. Push price all the way up, right? This is a fluctuation in price. Sellers came in, sold the market off, right? Then we have a support put in where buyers push price up, which is where I had my break structure at. Boom, right? Then you start to see this support fail, right? We have a higher low put in. I'm sorry, a lower high put in. Market starts selling off, right? Simple as that. Piece of cake. Make sure you're writing out your like your thought process on the chart. Helps you to really stay focused, really stay self-centered. And yeah, that's basically all I got. That's all I did to get into this trade here. And that's basically it. It wasn't just me that made some money. Some of my students made some money too. Doesn't look like all of them have posted their wins in the channel yet, but let me see if I can switch this tab real quick so you guys can see. Switch to Discord here so you guys can take a look here. So this is the Discord where I have all my students in here. And obviously every trade that I take, I send it out, right? So I was saying I was looking to take US30 sells. This is me looking at price at 4:49 in the morning, right? Letting my students know, hey, I got in this trade at this time, and what I'm targeting, right? Seeing how it plays out, giving updates, and then eventually posting out some wins here, right? So this is one of my students here. He made $731 today. Waiting to see what other students took this trade later. Here are my profits, right? So if you're interested in learning and trading, the link's in the description, right? No pressure at all, right? Talk to God about it if it's something that you're interested in, and if he says, hey, go ahead and do it, feel free. I'd love to have you, teach you, help grow you, right? But that's basically all I got for today. Thanks for tuning into the video, and 3 things to remember. Remember that I love you, God loves you, and I will see you guys in that next video.